Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Still at my son training, and I know it's some men that want me to talk to you nicer, and well, brother, this is what you have to do, okay? You don't have to love yourself, okay? And I know it's a man want me to talk to you like that, and I try, honestly, I try to tone it down, and you know I try, but it's extremely hard. And my dad talked to me very respectful and gentle. I can't even remember my dad ever raising his voice at me, and I don't raise my voice. I can't even remember him being extremely real, in the sense to where it like really hurt my feelings or nothing. But it was actually after that, after being with my dad and then going to the streets. And when I was in the streets, I remember my cousin. One time I was moving a little sloppy, and he called me and basically, he cussed me out. And just, he cussed me out. Like, God, man, you moving too fast. Man, you doing too much. Man, you think you out here getting money. And you leaving paraphernalia everywhere. I'm in my car. Man, you got paraphernalia in here. And now when I look back, I'm like, where you learn paraphernalia at? But in the moment, that thing hit me hard, And after that, we kind of fell out a little bit. He came back and went, man, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I'ma just, man, forgive me for, going off or whatever. But it's real out here, man. Like, it's real out here, man. People doing time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want you to do no time, man. I don't want you to, get caught up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta forgive me the little noise you hearing because I'm trying to sit my phone up. I don't want you to get caught up, man. But it hit me, and I wasn't processing all the way. But when you out there and you messing around, it's like you could get robbed, and that could go wrong. You could get shot and killed. You could get arrested. You could go up the road. And so it, in a lot of ways, is life and death. And so you talk different, you think different, you move different. And I ain't spend nothing out there but 5 summers, but that was, them 5 years of my life that's longer than a college degree. So it taught me different things that I didn't learn in the regular world. And I started to see everything in my life, like life and death. So I started to see me growing and maturing as a man, like life and death. And I started to look at, my marriage, and I looked at my son, and I viewed everything like a life and death choice. Like, if I don't grow as a man, if I don't mature as a man, if I don't find discipline and self-control as a man, then that's the death of my marriage. That's the death of my fatherhood to my son. Like, I can't be a positive example, a positive role model. And I started to evaluate those things, and I started to look, and I started to say, well, if I can't be a man, then how can I expect my sons to be men? If I can't be a man, if I can't grow, then how do I expect my sons to grow? And the things that I was graced, and you start to look, and you start to realize that where you had grace and mercy, your best friend, your brother, your son don't have grace and mercy. And you start to look, and you start to say, well, if my son made the same stupid choice that I made, the time that I got robbed and I happened to be in my apartment when I got robbed, what if I was sitting in my car and they had guns? Could I have lost my life that night? What if the mail that I had in the car with my address on it made them come back a few months later to break in my apartment? And could I have lost my life in that moment? And so if my son don't have me in his life to teach him from my stupid choices, but not just hear me talking out my mouth, but see my example, if he put himself in the same situation that I put myself in, what could it cost him? And what you start to realize is that with every generation, the temptation increases. And your children gonna have it harder than you had it, because I end up making a lot of bad choices without social media. There was no social media. Cell phones was not up the par. I remember opening my cell phone one day and all the ink dissolved out the screen, and the phone just went off and never came back on. That's how the cell phone was, the little Verizon flip phone. And so if I can make stupid choices without the technology, like today they have nasty websites as apps and stuff that people just got an app with a subscription or a site with a subscription, and just in the middle of the day can go on one of these nasty sites and just go to town. It's like, I don't recall any of that when I was coming up. I mean, you probably had to really go digging and searching for it on the internet once the internet came around. But you see what I'm saying? It's different temptation. And so it's like, as men, we really have to look and say, what we have control over, so we think, what we think we've mastered, what we think we understand, it might destroy your son. Like, you in front of your son and you cursing. If he go to school and he curse at his teacher because you made it okay, now he labeled a delinquent. Now when he get a 69 in that class and a 70 is passing, because he cursed like a sailor, and he done slipped and cursed at the teacher one time because his daddy cursed like a sailor, that teacher not finna give him that 70. That teacher gonna let him keep that 69 because she don't like who he is as a person. So now that costs him. Now he got to stay back in the grade. And see, a lot of times we don't even get that fine tune, and we don't think about how the things that, you know, if your child know you smoke weed, and then that's available to your child at 9 years old, you know, it's some kids that know how to cook crack at 10, 11 years old because they uncle doing it, they daddy doing it. And so if it's available to them, like you see the little boys on social media, on the videos, and they be smoking cigarettes and stuff, and smoke like a champ, smoke like a pro at 10, 11 years old, it's because they family do it. They done seen it in their household. They done seen it all around them. So now where you could have started smoking at 14, your child starts smoking at 9 or 10 because your child know you smoke. But where you were smoking, you know, regular weed or mid or dro, your child is smoking K2 Spice and around here twitching, and your child is, while you taking this kind of pill, now your child got something else that's pressed up and mixed, and it's taking lives. You see what I mean? Every generation get worse. So as men, we got to challenge ourselves to grow, because the youth looking up to you. And you have to ask yourself, if I can't be disciplined, if I can't discipline myself as a man, as a grown, musky man, if I can't discipline myself, if I can't grow, if I can't fine tune myself in the dark, when nobody's looking. If I can't conquer my demons, if I can't conquer my addictions, if I can't conquer the things that I'm struggling with, if I can't change my personality for the better, if I can't fix my attitude for the better, how do I expect my kids to be able to do it? If I can't love and respect myself, my mind, and my body, how do I expect the police officer, when he stopped me, to respect my mind and my body? Like, how do I expect my wife to respect my mind and my body? If I can't live and be an example, how do I expect anybody to respect my voice? So it's like I'm raising a 14-year-old and I'm talking to him about hard work, but I got to show him what hard work look like. I got to show him what a grind look like, what a dedication look like, what a sacrifice look like. I got to show him and help him understand what those things look like as a man. And so it's a high call, to be a man. It's a high call. It's a lot of responsibility. And the thing about it is what I noticed today in this society, and guys around my age, I'm 37, guys who in their 40s, everybody want it easy. And so many men today want it easy. Everybody want an excuse. Everybody want an excuse about their pain, about how they grew up, about their mama, their daddy, about how long they been smoking, how long they been drinking, how long they been sleeping around. Everybody want an excuse. Everybody want convenience. You don't find greatness in convenience. You don't find greatness and mediocrity is not gonna be on a parallel path. Separation comes before elevation. You got to separate from the people and the things in order to go where you're trying to go. And as a man, you got to grow, and you got to be willing to grow in the dark. You got to be willing to grow with nobody looking. You got to be willing to really fight that fight. You're going to have some sweats. You're going to have some nightmares. You're going to have some bad dreams. You're going to go through some withdrawals. You're going to have some cramps, some pain when you breaking those addictions, whatever addiction it is. It's going to hurt. You're going to have some headaches, some heartache. You're going to feel it. But on the other side, it's double for your trouble. A double portion. Because sacrifice comes before the reward. Only place the reward comes before sacrifices in the dictionary. And so you got to realize that. And when you become a man, your whole lineage changes. Now you get the peace and you get the clarity to create generational wealth. A wealth of knowledge and a wealth of finances. You create a blueprint where even if your money can't be passed down, your blueprint could be passed down. Because your children saw how you live your life. And you could have something that's killing you, and you say, well, my kids don't know about it. They gonna know about it on your obituary. So everybody's still lost. So whatever you got to tighten up, whatever you got to change, getting out of that illegal lifestyle, getting off them addictions, and not just talking about drug addiction, the addiction in the dark. What you doing on that phone? What you doing on that laptop? What you doing with Angela? What you doing with all them random women, with them other women? They might not be random. You might just have your little roster, 3 or 4. But you still haven't tapped into self-control and discipline. And so if you lack in self-control and discipline in one area of your life, it's going to cost you in other areas of your life, and you're never going to realize your full potential. If you could make $1 million and be undisciplined, that means you could make 10 million with discipline. If you could make 10, you could make 100. Hey, we'll talk.